Hello, world. Bixyany. Some may say James, but God is great though. First and foremost, uh, I was at the age of 5. My grandmother and my grandfather they had a singing group called the Wound Singers. My grandmother told me to go upstairs to get her dentures. I began to walk up the steps. I knocked on the door to the restroom, which where my grandma would always keep her dentures. My sister told me, "Oh, it's okay, you come in." Me at the age of 5, you're thinking like, "Okay, this is my sister." You're not thinking nothing. So she said, "Oh, give me a towel." I got my grandmother's teeth, and as I was on my way out the door, she said, "You want to do something?" And I'm like, "Huh?" I'm 5. This is not made up. I mean, if a lot of people and or anyone feel as if this is just myth or jokes or games, ask God to reveal it to you. But to finish the story, I gave her the towel and she said, "Get on top of me." And I'm like, "You're not thinking none of it until you get older and you watching Ayala or you watching, you go to church or something and you hear about these things and you're like, oh, wow, that was wrong the whole time." Like, this is my sister, it wasn't just me, it was my cousin Dre, you know what I'm saying, and his brother Willie who died. Rest in peace. It was times where, she would be like a school teacher and we would be the students and like, so I was like 5, 6, man, learning what role play was. Many of you don't understand me, which is why I put out that album Misunderstood. It's like so many people criticize me and, you know, throw salt on my name when you really don't know me. That's what the whole Bix Yany, believing in, you know, exogenetics. Yeah, you are now you. That's what, I had to believe I was a different species, get away from society, all because of that Eve seed who I'm going to blame the man. Nah, but many of you see me get on Facebook and I vent and you probably don't understand why because my sister did that to me and even with all that happening, my family never had the vision or the eye or the focus or the sight to see that this happened. But to turn it around, I once stayed with her. I want to say like 99, which is the year I went to Job Corps and received a certificate in retail sales. But to make a long story short, I went with my cousin Reese to go play basketball, and when I got back, DCFS was there. And I'm like, what the? Okay, now, Me, you have to think, I was an uncle at the age of 14. I mean, that brought joy to me. That brought happiness to me. So I would wrestle with them, cook for them. I mean, I learned, you know, parenting at a young age. I mean, being an uncle is like, you know, and then going to Job Corps is like, that prepared me for my children. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would I want to harm them? I will wrestle with them. And if you're familiar with a body slam, as I was wrestling with my nephew, because oh God, I love the WWF. Anybody will tell you, but which is WWE now. But I would wrestle with my niece and nephew. I mean, I would wrestle with my nephew, and my nieces finally come to me one day and they say, "Hold up." They say, "Uncle, why you don't never wrestle with us?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, you know, I'm like, okay." So as I began to pick up my nephew for a body slam, my little niece ran downstairs, which is Takia, and Danisha, I had picked her up for a body slam, and by the time she was like, "Oh, do that again, Uncle, that was fun." So by the time I picked her up for the second body slam, my other little niece come upstairs, and she said, "Oh," and I'm like, "What, Takia?" She said, "You touched my sister down there." I'm like, "No," I said, "We were wrestling." So that brings you to the DCFS in front of the house. So my sister say, "Okay, I touched my knee. Okay, you was at work, my mama wasn't there, but y'all want to spread this all around America like it was so true, and nobody ever got my story." I've never been a molester. I've been with over 150 women and never had a disease. By the grace of God. Many of my family members, I have over, if you want to count both sides, I probably have, what, 2,000 family members, 3,000? Many of you don't even know me. Many of you heard about me through somebody else's perception or got their insight. No, dog, you can't read. Nah. Just because you read one chapter don't mean you read the whole book. You just read pages in that book. Just being honest. But with that being said by my sister, I was looked at as he's a child molester, he's a child molester, he's a child molester. I never molested children. I love my nieces and nephews. And still to this day, even though me and my nephew have had bad blood, that's where it all steams up, and I'm here to tell him, and none of that's true. Your mama lie you, dude. But to fast forward to her confession, she comes to me and my ex-wife house, which we stayed in Cahokia, because my wife, she got tired of me taking it out on her, which is why I'm divorced. She got tired of me taking it out on her, so she was like, "You know what? I'm tired of this between your sister." So she called my sister up, you know what I'm saying? And when my sister walked through the door, it was like, I don't know, I felt like God was just speaking through me with like, I'm like, "Tony, why you lying on me after all these years?" You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you got family members, you got people in the streets thinking that I'm just this wicked, cruel, evil person. She said, because my brother, Terry, who I never met, used to make her give him oral sex, and that she said that if she told anybody that he would get us taken away from my mama. But what makes it bad is that she won't even confess this to the family. But see, this is where God don't like ugly. Because the same daughter that she used to say that I molested had sex with her own cousin in my garage. And my ex-wife can confess to it. Because she's the one that caught them. In our garage in Cahokia. And we're not talking about a 5-year-old. We're not talking about a 10-year-old. We're talking about 18 and 19. When I brought that to the light, she was mad at me all over again. And when I called her on the phone in front of an ex-girlfriend I was dating, she got a chance to hear that, you know, this one all made up. And she was like, wow. She said, your sister is wild, you know, because I had the phone on speaker. And my sister, she like, when I confessed to her, you know, because I called her job, I blew her phone up until she finally answered. And I say, so you ain't gonna go tell the family that you did this to me? She's like, look, we was young, we all did it to each other. No. And if God is my witness, yes, incest, yes, it was in our family, yes. But the whole family mad at me or angry with me over her lie when they never saying my truth. I love all y'all. I just want my black people to stop blaming the man for everything and open your eyes up. There's some wicked, cruel women out here. My mama hated me because of a man she dated in high school. I'm not telling you something that I'm making up. Don't never get to the point where you think I'm bipolar. No, I'm telling you something that was confessed to me. And after it's done, okay, your mama beating you with extension cords, your mama beating you with boards, your mama coming up to your school beating you with 2x4s. I'm talking about in front of the whole school. Anybody that wants the lands down to tell you. But you want me to disrespect you now? How? Beat my sister with boards with nails in them. These are the things she don't want to tell the family. She want to say, oh, the church drove them like that. Oh, they daddies did it. No. Let's blame you, sister. Many parents don't want to take the responsibility for dropping the balls of why your children are the way they are. Women blame men for everything. No, babe. It's men. It's women that rape dudes. It's women that molest little boys to get that full pleasure. Husband done got it right. Boyfriend ain't did it. Girlfriend ain't did it. Oh, let me put this little baby arm on me. Some nasty people out here, yo. Open your eyes up to the light, women. Love y'all, man. One.